In this video, we will learn how to make the best mulch for a small garden or your kitchen garden. For those who are new here, we do videos on agribusiness, farming, kitchen and urban gardening, and related topics. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. We will appreciate. Thank you. We will start by asking ourselves, what is mulching? Mulch is any material that is spread around or over a plant to enrich the soil or help the soil maintain or retain moisture. It also helps in preventing any growth of weeds. The common types of mulch that are usually used are leaves, grass, straw, sawdust, eggshells, old newspapers, wood chips, or even plastic papers. One of the advantages of using this kind of mulch is that it takes quite some time to decompose, usually like 3 months, and that means you don't have to keep on adding more mulch like the way you do with a newspaper. The other advantage is that the mulch helps in retaining soil moisture, and so you don't have to keep watering your plants all the time. The other advantage is that it is very easy to put water or to water your plants easily. It is also very easy to add compost or manure or fertilizer when the time comes for you to do so. I'm also able to trace any slugs or snails that might be affecting the plants more easily when I'm using this kind of brown paper mulch. The disadvantages of using some of the mulch that I have mentioned before are as follows. If you're using kitchen scraps, sometimes they attract rodents like mice and rats and cockroaches, and also sometimes there's bad smell because the material has not decomposed. When you come to grass, it tends to attract snails and slugs, which can be a nuisance. If you're using old newspapers, sometimes they are printed with lead, and this can be toxic to our plants. Plastic mulch can be messy, especially so when used in containers and bags, and it is also a bit difficult to water the plants when you're using the plastic mulch. Newspapers can sometimes contain lead, which can be toxic to our plants. It also takes a very short time for the newspapers to decompose. That means that you have to keep on adding more newspapers as the plants grow. The best way to make the mulch is to use a shredding machine to cut the papers into small pieces. If you don't have a shredder, you can use a pair of scissors and cut the paper into small pieces. The best paper to use is the paper that we usually buy from our bookshops or supermarkets, and if you don't have that, you can use the paper that we usually get from the grain store, the one that they use to package. If you don't have that, you can also use the material that is used for envelopes because it is made with the same material. So what you do, you take the paper, you cut it using a pair of scissors, but if you have a shredding machine, that will make the work easier. So you cut the paper into large pieces, and then from there you take that piece of paper and then you start cutting it into smaller pieces that look like a mulch. So you just cut that piece of paper into one piece, then you fold it together, and then you start cutting it into small pieces that look like the normal straw or the newspaper cuttings that you usually have. So in conclusion, I find the brown paper mulch better to use because it is easy to get from your grocery store. It is also easy to make, and I find it highly recommendable for any small garden.